Sarwanduru na kaloko na Radio Fiji 1 ang dumibiti na buongani binyano. Nisambula binaka na ngonoboro taki ni rongo sere na ngona nindreko malolo. Nisambula binaka, oye wa meli kilangi. Ningina magati umena nungu bengi rawi maina moni tiki na warombuka na ruwa kina wana kaloko na ngona ni rongo mani sana. Waki na wono na ngona ni rongo sere na Radio Fiji 1 na dumibiti na buongani binyano yano.
This bulletin release video shows Fijian troops safe and well in Syria. We will not tolerate a climate of intimidation and fear, says Prime Minister Bainimarama. And Fiji to soon have its tallest building, a 30-story tower to be called the Grand Fijian Tower. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. A video has been released showing the Fijian soldiers held somewhere in Syria. The video has been verified and shows the soldiers sitting on the ground near some bushes. Vosita Kote Wasawasa reports.
These are the first footages of the soldiers seen in the last 2 weeks. The men are with their captain Savenada Siwatimbao Rambuka.
Today is Tuesday, the 9th of September 2014. I would like to mention to you that it is a very happy day. That we've been informed that we will be released soon, and we are all very happy to be going home.
Captain Rambuka thanked the group for their well-being.
By the way, we are all safe and alive, and we thank Jabhat al-Nusra for keeping us safe and keeping us alive, and I would like to assure you that we have not been harmed in any way. Deeply understand with the limited resources that they have provided the best for us, and we really appreciate it, and we thank them. We are thankful that Jabhat al-Nusra has kept its word, and that we would be going home, inshallah. Thank you very much.
In a press conference today, Army Commander Brigadier General Moses Tikuitonga said they will continue to work with the UN for the safe release of the 45 men.
The Fiji government and the RFMF continue to monitor the situation, and we are extremely grateful for the public of Fiji for their prayers and well wishes to our men, and we continue to ask for your prayers to ensure the safe return of our people.
Tikuitonga says another 45 soldiers who were prepared to go in as replacements are now on standby should the need arise.
The 45 personnel that we are preparing to replace our guys are still on training, and like I said before, that if the requirement is there to send them, we will send them. If we think the guys that have returned will continue the mission or are able to continue the mission, then they will continue with the mission, and there is no requirement to replace them. But if there is a need, we have people ready, and more are volunteering to go to replace those guys.
Tikuitonga says the families of the affected soldiers continue to receive counseling services offered by the military. A team has been sent to visit 3 of the soldiers' families in Vanuatu, and Tikuitonga is appealing to community and religious leaders to support them. Pusita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Fiji will soon have its new and tallest building, the Grand Fijian Tower. The proposed 30-story structure could also be the tallest in the Pacific region. Ellen Stalls has more.
Locally owned Frontier Investment Limited is the promoter and developer of the Grand Fijian, which will be located on the corner of Foster Street and Pratt Street. Managing Director Vijay Sharma says the development will be the first in a chain of hotels.
This mammoth venture is only possible through government's conducive policies, incentives and assistance. We are very appreciative and thankful and hope to receive continued support till successful implementation. Grand Fijian development will change the face and the landscape of Suva, as Willie mentioned earlier on, and will be a trigger to many other such projects from other developers who will take confidence in our move.
The development will consist of 60 apartment suite hotels, 77 apartment units, a spa, a gymnasium, a signature restaurant, a rooftop cocktail bar, infinity pool, and communications tower. While launching the project last night, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama said investments such as these are sure to boost the economy.
So this is not only a project to capture the imagination, but create employment and boost the wider economy. This project is a vote of confidence in Fiji by Fijians and a testament to the general confidence that my government has instilled in the business community with our reform program over the past 8 years.
Prices range from $800,000 to $4.8 million, and all units are either for sale, to own, or to lease or occupy. The development will create around 350 jobs in the construction phase and about 150 jobs when the building is completed. And with a total of 21 pre-bookings so far, there is no doubt that there is a demand for such luxury complexes. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The Elections Office is making final preparations to send several containers of ballot papers for the 274 polling centres in the Northern Division. The containers are at a secure storage facility in Lami and they will be shipped out tomorrow. Chanel Sivan takes a look at the facility.
So these are ballot boxes that have...
Our cameras are the first to be allowed inside the facility at Wailekutu. A portion of this Williams and Gosling's depot has been turned into the Fijian Elections Office secure storage location for ballot papers. The freight company is also the official domestic carrier of ballot papers and boxes for the Fijian Elections Office.
In there, in our various shelves, we have got ballot papers, we've got other equipment that goes into the ballot box to be transported to the presiding officer for their use. And currently, as you can see in the background, our team is doing packing for the Northern Division.
The facility is guarded round the clock by police and there are CCTV cameras installed in many places.
How are the ballot papers being transferred to the Western Division?
The same transport mode will be used. We'll be using containers, shipping containers, which are very safe and secure as well. And we will be packing equipment into this, and then it will be transported via truck and police security.
20 election staff are present at any packaging time. Once the shipment of ballot papers and boxes will leave tomorrow, the observers and the presiding officers in the north will be advised of the exact time of arrival.
There's a group, they are packing the fresh ballot box and they are now labeling it, and after that all the equipment will go in. And currently over here, as you can see, these are ballot boxes now ready to go into the container. They'll be all marked off and then put into the container. The packing process is carefully scrutinized. We've got an officer recording all the numbers of the seals as the seals are placed on the ballot box. And these are all the materials that go inside the ballot box.
Fiji is just 5 days away from the general elections. Voting will take place from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, man remanded in custody for uncle's death at drinking party in Wailolo, Nandi.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी का प्रसारण कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत हम कर रहे हैं। सुंदर ये मौसम और ऐसे मौसम बहार में आप भी कार्यक्रम का आनंद उठा रहे हैं, आपको शामिल कर रहे हैं हमारे साथ में।
गुड मॉर्निंग आपको हम कहना चाहेंगे, अगर www.fbc.com.fj पर आप हमें सुन रहे हैं, हम सफर प्रोग्राम आपके लिए जारी है। सुबह 9 बजे तक हम आपका साथ देंगे। गुड मॉर्निंग आपको।
अपने दिन की शुरुआत हमारे साथ कीजिए। रेडियो फीजी पर हम सफर प्रोग्राम हर सुबह 6 से 9 बजे तक। जॉइन अस।
छू
छू छू छू। हे हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू छू छू। 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Prime Minister and Fiji First Leader Vorengen Bainimarama has issued a stern word against people who are threatening to take Fiji backwards. Bainimarama says under his leadership they will not tolerate a climate of intimidation and fear. Ritika Pratap reports.
In days leading up to the election, discussions on the social media and blogs have accelerated, but they have not been clean and healthy discussions.
I've been very disappointed that some of the forces who were responsible for much of the trauma we suffered in 1987 and again in 2000 have re-emerged from the shadows in this election campaign. Indeed, some days I've wondered if anything has really changed. That feeling of being caught in a time warp.
The Fiji First Party leader Vorengen Bainimarama strongly spoke out against threats based on ethnic and religious intolerance.
I have been shocked by some of the threats that have been made in this campaign, not only against individuals, but against entire ethnic groups. It is simply not acceptable for any Fijian to threaten to kill another Fijian because of what he or she may have said in the way of a political opinion. And yet, that is what is happening on certain blogs and on Facebook.
Not one to mince his words, Bainimarama says the riots and looting of the past will not happen on his watch.
We will do everything required to keep the peace. Suva will not be allowed to burn as it did in 2000 in one of the most disgraceful episodes in our nation's history. You can be sure of it because we will make sure of it.
Bainimarama says the military commander and the police commissioner agreed that the full brunt of the security forces and the full brunt of the law will descend on any person or persons who cause trouble or who try to stir up trouble before, during and after the election period. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A 29-year-old man who allegedly murdered his 61-year-old uncle at Wailolo on Monday night has been remanded in custody and the case has been transferred to the Lautoka High Court. Nathanieli Vakatao Mbakata has been charged with the count of murder and was denied bail by Nandi Magistrate Mohammed Azar this afternoon. Prosecutor Inspector Sunil Gosai asked the court to remand Bakata based on his previous convictions and 8 pending files for absconding bail. It is alleged that Bakata was drinking with a group of men on Monday afternoon when a fight broke out. The victim, Ananayasa Dhavadhava, tried to stop the fight when Bakata turned on him. It is believed the 61-year-old fell to the ground and died on the spot. A 12-year-old girl who was allegedly murdered in a home in Suva last weekend was laid to rest today. The final funeral rites were performed at the Nasinu Cemetery and it was attended by her parents and classmates. She was rushed to the CWM hospital where she was pronounced dead. Investigations continue. A new High Court complex is expected to be constructed soon in Lautoka. Chief Justice Anthony Gates was chief guest at the groundbreaking ceremony and says this complex has been a long time coming. Akusita Tale has more.
The $35 million complex will soon provide for 4 civil division judges and a master and 2 criminal division judges.
Labasa has a nice High Court building. Suva is getting better facilities and the West badly needed this building, and I think it will be a very significant development to the city of Lautoka.
The building will have 18 courtrooms in all. It will also have 7 levels and will be one of the tallest buildings in Lautoka City.
This building will also house the Small Claims Tribunal and other tribunals that have to sit, and of course the other divisions of the High Court, tax, family, employment relations, civil and criminal.
Other courthouses in the Western Division will also be improved. Nandi will have a 3rd magistrate's courtroom, while extension work will soon begin for Rakiraki.
Singatoka is all right for the moment. We will also be working on a new courthouse, completely a new site for Bar, away from river flooding, and there'll be 2 magistrates there, and there'll be a separate magistrate for Tavor.
The new complex will house more judges and magistrates, court staff, court facilities and modern equipment for dealing with litigants' disputes. The facilities will also provide both for mediation and for conventional trials. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
We'll now join our West journalist Akusita Tale. Tale, the $35 million complex will be the tallest building in the Sugar City, in fact the tallest for a while, correct?
Yes, Jackie, this is one of the massive projects for Fiji, as those who have practiced in the existing building have realized that the facilities are inadequate for a high court. So the new complex will have the essential jurisdictions of the Court of Appeal, High Court, Magistrate Courts and various tribunals. Amongst its facilities will be separate holding cells for men, women and juveniles, a gymnasium, a media room, audio and video recording in all rooms, lifts to all floors, a juvenile court and others. These are only some of the features of modern facilities in the building, Jackie.
Definitely a building to look forward to. Thanks so much for that, Tale. Now we have sports with Jamie.
Good evening. Coming up, Sevens reps have one more chance to impress Coach Ben Ryan for final squad. And Coach John McKee gives his views on this weekend's Fair Brother matchup. Details after the break.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're having fun so far. You're listening to The Ride, and I'm Kara, taking you through your afternoon. Stay with me to listen to more awesome classics right here on The Ride. Bulubinaka, for awesome sounds in the afternoon. Wonderful, wonderful classics. Join me on The Ride every weekday right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits from 2 to 7.
Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's cause
Isang mula na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni ron ni bibo na matagni ke misa po. Niya na isang mula na sero ko ni sana na chumena kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Isang mula, oyo Mr. Ben. Ela pa. Na magkikira na bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may na ono kinadiwa na Bula FM.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Players in the Vodafone Fiji 7 squad have one final training run tomorrow to impress national coach Ben Ryan for a place in the 24-member squad. With some players released for HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy duties, Ryan says he now has a fair idea of the makeup of his team to the Gold Coast Sevens. Salenda Dakadaka has more.
It was business as usual in the Fiji Sevens camp as players sweated it out under the watchful eyes of national coach Ben Ryan. This was also the final training session for some of these players who will be featuring in the HFC Fairbrother Trophy Challenge this weekend between Nandronga and Suva.
Yeah, the Suva boys have already gone, so it's just one actually, Kotoni Bal, because Varuna's injured. He went last night, and the Nandronga boys just took part in some of the training this morning, and they'll go to join their province today as well.
Veteran Setefano Vakau joined the squad this afternoon and remains an important piece in Ryan's puzzle.
Yeah, so Sete was coaching Sri Lanka, as we all know, and his last tournament was the weekend. So he only got in yesterday. So I excused him from training this morning and said, come this afternoon. So he'll be in training and available for selection for that 24 as well.
The 24 players that Ryan will name tomorrow will feature in a Sevens tournament in Ovalau next weekend, from which the final 12 will be named for the Gold Coast Sevens. Salendo Vakavak, FBC Sports.
Flying Fijians coach John McKee believes the BLK Nandronga rugby side can't afford a repeat performance from last week in the HFC Bank Fairbrother Challenge this Saturday. Nandronga struggled to beat Northland last week, coming away with a plucky 12-0 win with 2 second-half tries. This week's challenge is tipped to be the strongest the Stallions will face this year, as Suva has always been a traditional giant of local rugby.
I think Ndronga will have to play a little bit better than they did last weekend. I thought they made a lot of mistakes in their game. They finished the game strongly in the second half, but they made a lot of errors which Northern weren't able to capitalise on. And I think that if they make the same number of errors against Suva with more experienced players, we'll capitalise on those errors. So it's going to be an interesting game. And Suva have to bring their best game too if they want to win, because it take a good team to beat Ndronga.
A new winner will be crowned in the under-12 division of the primary schools IDC, currently underway at the NZ Stadium. This after defending champs Navua lost out in the semi-finals to Mba in extra time by 2-1. In the final tomorrow, Mba will face Nandongo, who defeated first-timers Navosa by the same scoreline. Fiji Primary School Soccer Association says the students have shown a lot of improvement compared to previous years.
Looking at the level of skills and the level of football displayed by the teams, we have seen great improvement. We have seen great improvement, and especially playing at the ANZ Stadium, they are able to showcase their skills more openly with good facilities over here, with the good ground conditions. So the level of competition, the level of skills has improved quite a lot.
Meanwhile, in the under 14 division, teams that have already booked places in the final 8 include Rewa, Lautoka, Mbua and Suva. The Marist Hockey Club today received some long-awaited funding to organize its annual tournament. One of the oldest hockey clubs in the country, its officials say the sponsorship will ensure the smooth running of the tournament. Josephine Navula has the details.
Signed, sealed and delivered, the Marist Hockey Club has finally raked in a major sponsor for its upcoming tournament. Vice President Martin Fong says the sponsorship is one of which will take them miles compared to the past.
We've had a major sponsor before, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We haven't had one in a while. So with Geotech coming on board, it's a big boost for the club. It is the burden on the committee who are organizing the tournament in terms of looking for money. We don't have to do that now. Thanks to Geotech, we managed to secure good funds for the tournament next week.
Fong adds they already have plans of how the dollars will be utilized.
The other cost in terms of the cost of the turf, and also the cost of the whatever first aid that we need. So all that money will be utilized amongst those things from the sponsors.
Geotech Drilling Director Gary Burnett says this is the first time the company is backing a hockey tournament.
Our company, we try to give something back to the community and back to Fiji.
Now it's time to tie the loose ends before the start of the tournament next week. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji Link will tonight receive its brand new ATR 42-600 aircraft at the Nandi International Airport. The airline says it's a step up from the current fleet of ATR 42-500s that they have. This is the second new aircraft for the airline, following the arrival of the ATR 72-600 earlier this year. The ATR fleet for Fiji Link are leased from aircraft leases. Weather time now with Trish.
Thank you, Jackie. Looking at today's map, Suva and Savu again with similar conditions with cloudy skies and brief showers. Nadi, Lotogamba and also Lambasa had fair conditions all throughout the day. Temperatures Suva, Savu with 28, Nandi 29, Lotoka, Bai and Lambasa all hit 30. Bai, Lotoka, Nandi, Rakiraki and Tavua will all drop to a cool 17 tonight. Friday's forecast, you folks in Suva and Savu might have a chance of cloudy skies and brief showers toward the afternoon. Nadi, Lotogamba and also Lambasa should have fair conditions all throughout the day. For mariners, a strong wind warning remains in force for Yasawa waters and the Vatuira passage, but is now cancelled for northern Vanuatu and northern Lao waters. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. This beautiful image is our weather pick for this evening. If you have pictures that you would like to share, send them in to citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping our main stories tonight, released video shows Fijian troops safe and well in Syria. We will not tolerate a climate of intimidation and fear, says Prime Minister Voringam Bainimarama. And Fiji to soon have its tallest building, a 30-story tower to be called the Grand Fijian Tower. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all from us today. Goodbye for now.
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker.
Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Imbula bina na turanga na marama na turbugi na ngone lewa. Imbula bina rangone. Kanuita kini marata itiron tapi bingomi na bio liba ni Radio Fiji 1 na bai viti na bunga ni vianu yanu. Oya upio rotuanga na mninda ni bengravi. Na makia mo ina ono kita tiri karua moni tiki na barumbuka. Ene wasini ngone baruta ki kilo moni koro. Ilutu na karombo. Bula bula enaya.